weird. Kinda weird.
Thunder Force is a superhero comedy film written and directed by Ben Falcone, who is Melissa McCarthy's real-life husband. Aww. The film is a straight-to-Netflix movie, and a lot of people don't like it. The movie is about two childhood friends who invent a way to become superheroes in a world where criminals have developed superpowers. It stars Melissa Mccarthy as Lydia and Octavia Spencer as Emily. Jason Bateman is also in the movie as a crabman, and he is the best part of the movie. So not counting movies that were supposed to go to the theaters if it wasn't for the pandemic, for the most part when a movie goes straight to a streaming service, that's the 2021 version of a straight to DVD movie. And that's what this movie feels like. It feels like a straight to DVD. It's a kind of bland, somewhat funny superhero movie. I'm gonna talk about the movie's sense of humor, the characters, and their superpowers. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification icon for more content, so let's get started.
Get in that dumpster.
What?
Why? Because that's where the garbage goes.
No way.
Do it, dipshit!
Okay.
The best parts of the movie are whenever Jason Bateman's in a scene and whenever the movie is being self-aware and makes fun of the typical superhero movie tropes. Like when the movie makes fun of its two main characters for being overweight and in their mid-40s, or when the main villain kills his crew members to let the audience know that he's really evil, which is the funniest part of the movie, and I'd almost tell people to watch it just for that one scene. There are moments in this movie that are genuinely hilarious. Unfortunately, there's not that many of these scenes, and it ends up falling short for not being self-aware of its own blandness. I want to talk about the movie's humor because I think that's where the movie could have been something. When it's not being funny, it's pretty bland. But the movie has this reoccurring theme of being somewhat self-aware of itself, and it goes back and forth between being self-aware of doing typical superhero movie stuff and being very bland and generic by doing those same typical superhero movie stuff. It kind of reminds me of Deadpool, but not in a good way. You see, with Deadpool, even when Deadpool isn't being self-aware of being a superhero movie, it's still an awesome and fun movie to watch.
To you, Mr. Pool. Deadpool. That sounds like a fucking franchise.
Whereas with Thunder Force, whenever it's not being self-aware, it's really just generic. It makes fun of these typical superhero movie tropes, like the superheroes having to wear these suits that end up stinking because, for whatever reason, they're unwashable.
The suit is getting ripe. I gotta wash it.
Can't wash it.
What? Are you kidding? How am I supposed to keep it fresh?
We need to work on that.
So the movie is parodying the typical superhero movie, but by not going all the way and only doing it sometimes, it ends up being the exact same thing that it's trying to make fun of.
Until now you have become the very thing you swore to destroy.
The two main characters are Emily and Lydia. Both of them met at school and became childhood friends. They stop being friends sometime in high school and don't end up seeing each other for over 20 years. This is where things get a bit odd to me. The movie implies they haven't seen each other since high school. Both of them are now in their 40s, and for some reason, Lydia still thinks about Emily, even though they haven't seen each other for 20 years. It just feels odd that someone dearly misses their friend from high school that they haven't seen in over 20 years. Unless maybe Lydia's character still remembers her because she has a lot of trouble making friends for some reason.
Did I do that? Did I do that?
Early on in the movie, Lydia finds out that Emily has a child now, which is pretty normal. She's in her 40s. But then Lydia is not only very surprised, but also gets mad at Emily for not telling her about her kid. But you guys haven't seen each other for over 20 years. Why would she tell you she has a kid? The characters do have a pretty good dynamic in the movie, and from what I can tell, they are actual friends in real life, and it does show. But the whole premise of these two characters being a duo it just doesn't seem like it was very well thought out to me. Lydia and Emily both get superpowers because that's what the movie's about. Lydia clearly has the cooler superpower with super strength, and the movie does reference that at one point. Emily has the ability to be invisible, which is largely pointless, so they gave the character a taser. The movie never acknowledges that Emily's abilities are pretty pointless. There were multiple moments where both of them sprung into action, and I kept thinking, why is Emily even there? Apart from some really funny moments, the movie is largely forgettable and is pretty bland. If you ever need a movie to play in the background and pay absolutely no attention to, this movie is perfect. As a movie to play in the background, I'd give it a 10 out of 10. But as a movie to watch with your friends, I'd give it 23 internet points. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification icon for more content. Also consider supporting me on Patreon as well. Let me know what you guys thought of Thunder Force. Did I do a great job of exciting you to watch it? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out.